Oh, well, I'll show you some more stuff. Give you a little bit of what we're into. Here, let's see if I can hold it. Let's see. Got the microphone right here. Beta 58. Guys, all our recordings that come through that. I do have a fancier microphone, but I'm going to be honest with you. With my voice, I have more of a baritone voice. I feel like the Shure Beta 58, SM58, even in recordings, for me, captured a better tone of my voice than the other ones did. Maybe I'm not EQing it right. I could probably use some more work. I do everything myself, but that's what I'm using. Let's see. Got some more knickknacks. The owl, pictures of our son. The truck that Noah painted. Board games up there. Typical board games. My wife really likes the Magic theme board games, and she got a bunch of Magic cards. She was really into that Magic, the Gathering. And then we got that. So my wife does the running. And that was one of the tags she got, like that number 3366. But I want to bust this one out. Put that back. I'm gonna bust these out. I got these from my wife. I don't read cards. And the reason why I don't is because I don't have them memorized. I don't know what they mean. But I got her a tarot deck, right? I feel like I could, though. I know how to shuffle. Let's see. And then we got an oracle deck that's based off of Magic the Gathering. And I think, here, I'll try one out. Okay, I'll try one out. I think there might be there's a 5-card spread. I don't know if I can do a 5-card spread. I don't think they have a smaller one than that, like a 3-card. 3-card spread. 3-card readings are used for more layered questions and can lead to more complex explanations. There are many ways to interpret each card's position. You can create your own 3-card spreads and invent what each position means, or use the meanings of the positions written below. Here are some examples. All right, and then they got one as a present, issue, past, influence, and what is needed. I don't know. I'll give it a shot. We'll do a 3-card spread. If it don't work, I'll edit the card reading part out, and I'll just show you our knickknacks. Okay, so I'm pretty sure with how these work, you shuffle it around. I think you're supposed to let the spirit kind of influence your mind. Like I said, I'm not really a card reader. I enjoy card readers. I watch them, some of them. But I myself, my gift isn't necessarily on the card. It's more of, I get inspiration through dream, prophetic word, song. Part of being the shaman is definitely in the musical aspect, dancing. Y'all, when I do karaoke, you'll notice I move around a good bit, especially if you actually get me under some lights and on a stage. I don't know, I'm not under a trance, but I feel spirit move, and it moves, and then as a result, I move. But let's just keep going. Higher power. A lot of my messages, guys, I am talking about a higher power connected to the higher self. Our higher self is the soul, connects you to the monad. So very much. Now, I like how it's got the Council of Heliod on there. I don't know what any of that means, but, you know, I think a lot of people, when we think about higher power, we you know, if we're in the West, what do we think about? Jesus, Christianity. If you're on the East, probably think about Buddha, Muhammad, Hindu. But guys, and I've mentioned this before, all people groups have their world teacher. And why is that? Well, that's because there's one God. There was one God that created everything. But he had different people groups in power in different parts of our history of civilization, right? At one point, the East, the ancient East, was a world power. And that's, you know, there's different regions all in that area that had their turn. And he had world teachers for those periods to enlighten humanity of his divine nature. Very much so. Now, it's one God. So you have to know him by the fruit. Okay? And like I said, each one had their turn. So, connecting to your higher power, your higher self, is the key. Jesus was mine. El Moria is part of that too. You got to go into my earlier lessons to go into that. El Moria is an ascended master. A very, very old one. One of the first. Chohan of the first ray. The gateway. The gateway. Wow. All right, this is getting cool. I see why people do this now. Well, there's a gateway that you go through to get to the higher self, the higher power. Guys, if you keep up with any of the story that I've talked about, how I went through these mind control programs, I go into the GATE program. Y'all remember that? The Gifted and Intelligent program or whatever, where they put the smart kids in school? Well, guys, that program was used to identify psychics in your class. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you a lot of that GATE program was associated with Masonic families. Not everybody in school got to be a part of that program. A lot of those kids that you were in class with were involved in the Masonic family. They were in Masonic families, okay? And these Masonic families very much identify psychics within their families so that they can use them for ritual purposes. Now, when you got pinged and you got found, you went on to another program called Gateway. Okay? And when you were in Gateway, they actually started using technology and different things to get in and program you and get into your psyche. Right? Now, notice in this picture, we have a doorway. We've got a doorway right here. But what is this three-headed beast? Well, guys, when you meditate and you start to tap in, you're going to come across something called the Dweller at the Threshold. Everyone's got one. It's a monster. It's a form, a figure, an entity. It's always there to scare you from going further. The idea is to be able to slay the Dweller at the Threshold so you can go through the gateway to get to your higher self, the higher power. And indeed, if you were in those GATE programs and you got pinged as being a psychic, guess what? They took you out of the GATE program and they did it in front of everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, all those kids that are in the GATE, the gifted and special intelligence programs, guys, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. But you guys took harder classes, and that's what's special about what you went through. That's it. That's all there is to it. And you have family that are in the Masonic cult. But are you psychic? No, you're not. But the kid that got pulled out of class in front of everybody, let's say there was a class of 20, and maybe 1 or 2 got pulled out during the middle of the program in front of y'all, those are the ones who are psychic. It's a little random, but it fell out. Generosity. Guys, a natural result of connecting to the higher self, going through the gateway, treading the path, you do become more generous. You become a kinder person. You start to see God in everybody. Even your enemies. Even your enemies you start to see as teachers at a certain point. Now, don't get me wrong, they still are who they are, and you still have to understand that you can't give them the same amount of energy as you did before. But you can take those moments and learn from the lessons that they taught you. And then you can be generous towards others who are hurting, who are in similar situations that you went through. That way they can understand. They can know what they're going through. Your story could keep and save somebody from hurting themselves. Do you know that? A lot of times that's why I share what I share. One very unfortunate, sad symptom of going through these occults and being used and abused by the occult secret society, you have bad thoughts. And when I mean bad thoughts, I'm trying to not say the word, but you have thoughts that lead to hurting yourself. It's a symptom of going through the mind control, of being used as a vessel for demonic spirits, which is what they do. But if you don't know that, you don't know that. And so there are children out there that go through this program and they don't know what they're going through. And that's why I share what I share. And that's why I'm saying, when you heal and you go through the gateway to the higher self, to the higher power, and you begin to heal and become the best version of yourself that you can be, you can give your generosity to those who are hurting so that they can understand and can grow, go through the gateway themselves, connect to their higher power, and become the Christ within. Y'all have a good one.